little toenails can get stuck in there. That's why I have my cashmere sweater here.
Getting started is always the challenge. So you're sketching with your art supplies? Is that?
Yeah, some new pencils that I got. I'm sketching you looking at the menu.
Oh gosh.
Favorite thing we've done so far, and the weather is great. So it worked out that we didn't do it until today, Wednesday. It was a bucket list item actually to ride on a tandem bicycle. And as many of you know, I am a little afraid of Rob's driving, so it was a real exercise in faith for me. I didn't suggest it, he suggested it, and it's going very well. It's going swimmingly, except we haven't landed in a pond. So.
Damn it. So how old is the oldest church?
The oldest church was built 1306.
Oh wow, see, that's incredible.
So this was a harbor area. Sailors would come in from the sea looking for beer, food, and also company.
gringo Americans, it's very, very confusing. We're used to IHOP. So I figured out why I like these Dutch pancakes much more than your IHOP, whatever, McDonald's hotcakes, whatever the American stereotype is these days. It's because they are like crepes, but they are also much more similar to the kind of pancakes my mom used to make, which were closer to crepes than the kind of the big, thick pancakes, and they're really nice and comparatively light. I wouldn't say that they're light, but they're comparatively light, and they tend to be really good conveyors of whatever you put on them, which may be savory, which may be sweet, and we tried both, and we liked both. We adjusted to this new syrup, which is definitely not log cabin or this is butterworth. It's more like a maple, like a molasses, and pretty enjoyable.
So we are here at Albert Market, or I guess the English equivalent of that, for what is supposedly the best Stroopwaffels in
Except
Amsterdam.
we're saying it wrong. The lady just corrected us.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. Some more like.
Oh, the Stroopwafel. I've been saying it wrong.
We've been saying Stroopwafel, but the way that the Dutch say it is more like Stroopwafel.
So the place is called Rudy's, and heartbreakingly, it is not open today. We passed by a spot where it was supposed to be open. It was completely empty, so boo. Hattie has found a homemade apple pie place that she wants to sit down and have a homemade apple pie. But there's other really interesting stuff here. We're not experts on this by any means, but I would say that these apple pies that we keep on having are actually more like hybrids.
Like apple cake.
Apple cake pie hybrids.
It's almost like a coffee cake. It's good.
We just had a mighty explosion behind us.
And it wasn't funny. It scared me.
It scared.
It was. It smelled like.
Sulfur.
It was sulfur, yeah. I mean, it could have been a bomb. I don't know what it was. Nobody was injured, but it was scary.
He's very cute. So I'm going to give you a bunch of these. Email us and let us know what's going on with your writing.
Thank you so much.
If you're publishing, we'd love to have you.
Thank you. I would love that.
Yeah.
It's
So after the bookstore, we decided to escape the rain and come into this restaurant where I'm going to have my first attempt at the Dutch delicacy known as bitterballen. This is roux with like beef stew. It's the equivalent of fried cheese sticks, or my fried mozzarella sticks for the the Dutch.
They sell these everywhere.
Yeah.
They're on every menu.
Every menu, and yeah, it's like it is absolutely like a croquette. It's actually, although it's not as solid inside as you think, and it's nice. It's nice. I especially like the German mustard. Back at Albert Market for the second straight day. See if we can get the really good Stroopwafel. Oh, the line at Rudy's is long.
Smells good.
Key I've heard is that you've got to feel it kind of fold and you're nice and soft.
One thing I'm liking is it's not as sweet as I worried it would be.
And I think as good as the caramel is, the dough is what kind of makes it.
Well, the caramel is delicious and there's not too much of it. If there was more caramel, it would be too much.
We're about to scratch an itch that needed to be scratched. We're at a Mexican place, and if there's anything that Americans who live in Madeira complain about, it's the lack of good Mexican food on the island.
So there's no need to go back to the United States when you can have delicious tacos and English language books in a 4-hour flight. Oh yeah.
That does it, huh?
Yeah, delicious.
Keith Haring. This is my childhood in New York City subways. All this art. definitely what every Madeiran will be wearing this winter.
I try on in the stores in Madeira. They're always like too short for me.
October 26th. Back before my time, actually more, my mother's time, but maybe also our time, sort of. The really fancy department stores that we went to had like really good restaurants. I think Hudson's in Detroit had a really good restaurant, and I think I'm trying to remember which one in New York City had the really good restaurant. But this reminds me.
It sends me back, and I would go with my grandmother and my mother. At Hudson's, we would always get the Asian chicken salad, which was a big deal. It had mandarin oranges on it.
So many people don't know that donuts, the quintessential American food, it's actually not an American food.
No.
It's Dutch. And what we have here are two fresh ollieballen, one with plain, with powdered sugar, the other with, of course it's Europe, Nutella. So this is gonna be all she does is dabs the Nutella. Oh my God. This is so messy. But I've always said this. Donuts are so much better when they're warm and fresh.
Yeah.
This will be a little bit less messy. This is a little more greasy, but it's still really, really good. The sponginess of it is amazing. Plus, there's a crispiness on the outside that you don't get to really appreciate when it's not.